Alright, the trade deadline has come and go. It's over. I'm not gonna do a long YouTube video podcast tonight. I just don't feel like it. So, I'm gonna do a Twitter clip, upload it to TikTok. Not a Twitter clip, a TikTok clip. Upload it to TikTok. Upload it to YouTube, and we'll be good. TikTok allows you like 10 minutes anyway, so we'll go with that. To talk about here for a couple minutes, but how do I feel about the Miami Dolphins at the trade deadline? I don't care. I don't really care. I don't know how to feel. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm not happy. I don't care. I feel absolutely numb to the season that we've already had. We're sitting here at 2-7 on November 4th, and the season's over, and I hate that. I hate that feeling, and the season was over week 3 when we lost to the Buffalo Bills. There was no coming back. Actually, I will. I'll pump the brakes real quick with that. The season was over week 5 when we lost to the Carolina Panthers and blew that 17-0 lead. That's when the season was really over for this team. And then you could look at that and be like, trading players, looking ahead to the future, and this week we took steps in the right direction. We fired Chris Greer, which was absolutely the right decision for this organization. 10 years as the general manager with no playoff wins, no success whatsoever. It absolutely needed to happen. And then yesterday, trading Jalen Phillips for a third-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. And knowing Jalen the past couple of years, coming off a torn Achilles, coming off a torn ACL, not really providing much of what we want him to do. He's good at pressuring the quarterback, but he doesn't get home. And us getting a third-round pick for him, I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that trade for the Miami Dolphins. I think that the Jalen Phillips to the Philadelphia Eagles trade for us was a good trade. What's not good is that we still have to pay most of his salary. We have to pay over $5 million of his salary, while the Eagles only have to pay 1.125 or something like that of his salary. That's where Howie Roseman absolutely runs circles around Champ Kelly, who's an interim general manager. But overall, I like the deal for the Dolphins, stocking up on draft picks. And then you had an opportunity to do it today. You had an opportunity to do it today with a lot of players. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Bradley Chubb, Rasul Douglas. And they didn't do it. They stayed put. They stayed put to where they are. Bradley Chubb's still here. You could have gotten anything for it. I don't really care about the other guys, but Bradley Chubb is someone that should not be on this team. And knowing his history and his age, he's 30. He's going to be 30 next year. He gets no guaranteed money going into next season, so we're either going to release him or trade him. Why not get something for him? Why not get at least a 5th-round pick or whatever for Bradley Chubb? Apparently, the Dolphins were asking for a lot for Bradley Chubb, and that's what made the decision for other teams to be like, you know what, we're not going to trade for him because you're asking too much, which is absolutely absurd if that's the case. Now, if there wasn't any good offers on the table for the Dolphins, then, you sit and you stayed put. But I'm nervous about this for a couple things. Number one, I'm concerned that they didn't make these moves because Stephen Ross actually believes in Mike McDaniel, and he wants to test Mike for these last 8 games to see how it truly goes. And if that is the case, if this team finishes 500 this season, or they got 4 winnable games left on their schedule out of 8. They got a Commanders team without Jaden Daniels, the Saints, the Jets, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Those are their 4 winnable games. I'm not saying they're going to win all of them, but they're very winnable games for this team. And then if they find a way to win either Buffalo, which they're going to get absolutely their doors blown off by Buffalo this week. Talk about that on the preview Friday. Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, or the Patriots. If they find a way to beat one of those teams and they finish the year 7-10, and Mike McDaniel is back as the head coach for next season, that's the absolute worst case scenario for this franchise, and that cannot happen. That cannot happen where we finish 7-10, get a mid-round draft pick, and we keep the head coach that we are trying to, we don't want to be the coach going into next year. So, I'm not even upset about it. I don't care. I can't wait for this season to be over. This has been the worst Miami Dolphins season of my entire life, and I've experienced a lot of bad seasons for the Miami Dolphins, but this one probably is the worst. And, Bradley Chubb not getting traded, really, I think that one makes me mad. But the other ones, I don't really care about. Minka, Rasul Douglas, Judon, I don't really care. I think they should have traded Bradley Chubb. They could have gotten probably a 5th for him. I would have done it. Especially to a team like San Francisco who needs pass rushers. I would have absolutely done it. But yeah, now you're looking at the outlook of the team after the deadline. We kept everybody outside of Jalen Phillips. The interim GM made one move, and we are sitting here at 2-7 with 8 games to go in a year that's completely lost. And I just want the season to be over. This team's going to be playing a lot of meaningless games late in the season, which that always sucks. Even last year, they were playing in somewhat competitive games, meaningful games. Of course, they never came through in any of them, but this team's going to be playing a lot of meaningless football, and I expect them to get boat raced by Buffalo this week, and then we'll go from there. So that's my thoughts on the trade deadline. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you Friday for the preview of the Dolphins hosting the Buffalo Bills. Peace.